Hello, everyone. This is Umer from Ingram Micro. Welcome to our second live session that covers VMware Cloud Provider Program. And more specifically, this time, we're going to be talking a little bit about a product that will offer you some amazing features. So we'll wait for a few minutes for people to join in, and then we'll step right into it. All right, we are live now, and we have some people who joined in. So, welcome to everybody who joined in the live session today. My name is Umer, and I'm the product manager at Ingram Micro, managing VCPP program. Today's presentation is an overview about the VMware Cloud Provider Program, but more specifically about a product that would offer you some great benefits and would offer you some great extensions and scalability offerings to your MSP portfolio. So let's get right into it. Overall, the managed services portfolio is considered to be going huge, with a lot of potential to grow in the future. You know, you can see on this slide there are a lot of numbers that would surely highlight how big the opportunity is for a lot of MSPs. With a wrap up around your technical services, this would be a great opportunity for you to step right into the VCPP program that offers you flexibility from renting the licenses to offering your own specific white branded, white labeled PSO services that would offer you greater margins in the future. So VCPP program overall is a rental model of VMware licenses. It does have different branches to it. It does have an MSP branch, but also a branch that covers the rental usage of those licenses. We'll cover all those aspects in the next slides. So as I mentioned before in my previous slide, VCP program or VMware Cloud Provider Program comes with two branches. The yellow one here on this page covers the rental model, which offers you, using the VMware software offerings. If you have an infrastructure bent, or if you have been investing into data centers, then it will be the best offering for you, because it will be a monthly billing program if you are utilizing your own data center. But for example, let's say if you want to leverage on VMware's data centers or VMware services or SaaS-based offerings, then VMware offers an MSP model for that as well, which covers different aspects of SaaS-based offerings from Workspace ONE to VMC and AWS to offerings such as Horizon Cloud. There are many offerings, and this catalog keeps on expanding. One of the benefits for joining the MSP model is that you don't really have to invest in your own infrastructure to start with, and you can step right into the VCPP program. So generally speaking, the rental model covers applies to you when you have a full-fledged data center in action and you want to leverage a monthly based revenue stream within your organization, or you want to extend your margins using a monthly based licensing model. And the MSP model applies to SaaS-based services offered by VMware, which will enable you to offer services such as VMC and AWS or Horizon or Workspace ONE, and many others are added every now and then by VMware. Going to the next slide. The rental model, as I mentioned in the previous slide, which was the yellow marked portion, which covers when you have your own data center, comes with a core bundle of softwares. When you join in the program, you'll be given an access to a whole bunch of softwares, which will be loaded into your My VMware account, and you'll be able to access those. And those are beautifully segregated into management and networking and business opportunity softwares and compute. And then the support is going to be production level. From the management standpoint, we have VMware Cloud Director, vRealize Log Insight. Then from networking, we have NSX, DC, SP base. Business opportunity wise, you'll have vRealize Operations Chargeback, and then compute that would have vCenter Service Server and vSphere Enterprise Plus, and all of this would be having a production level support. This is a complete package to start your VCPP journey per se. You can add on to a lot of other offerings. So, for example, if you want to build on disaster recovery as a service, or if you want to build on different other offerings, then you can add on to other products into this mix. But these are the basic bundles you're going to get when you join a VCPP program on the rental side of the business. How do we know which model suits us? This slide would cover that. So, for example, if you're having your own data center, then and you do not want to sell the perpetual licensing, or if you are selling perpetual licensing but want to benefit from the rental model, then VCPP rental structure will suit you. So, for example, if you're providing any form of third-party access or operations on behalf of third-party, then follow this trail and you land up to the right option that would suit you. Generally speaking, when you have when you want to own the licenses and you want to offer those as a service to the customers, that's the rental model. So the basic difference between the perpetual licensing and the rental model of licensing is that in the perpetual licensing, you do not, as a service provider, you would not be able to own the licenses, and user would own it. But when you join a VCPP program, what happens is that you become, as a service provider, you would become the owner of the licenses, and you would be able to white label it with addition to your own PSO services on top. That's the rental model of services. As I mentioned before, with the core bundle that has the management and the business opportunities and different other offerings, what if you want to extend or scale out your services to the customers? So you want to build up, for example, site recovery management or disaster recovery as a service or different other offerings. You can still add on using all those different other products that are offered by VMware. One of the benefits of VCPP program rental model is that you have at your disposal the full stack of VMware offerings, other than the SaaS offerings, full stack of VMware products for your disposal, so you can use as you like, and you'll be charged based on your usage. That charge is actually calculated based on your virtual GB consumption. And in a separate conversation in the previous session, what we had discussed how this calculation is done. It's generally done through the virtual GB RAM, and a few things to consider in this is the allocation and the reservation of the RAM. With that model, you can control your consumption as you go. So if you want to scale up and down, you can simply do that by reducing your usage. It would only consider the powered on VMs. Powered off VMs would not be considered. So that actually is, at the benefit for a lot of service providers. As I mentioned in the previous slide, these softwares would offer you different expansion modes for you to utilize. What we're going to be discussing today is the core product that's on the top, which is vCloud Director. Now it's actually called VMware Cloud Director. They have skipped off the V, but we love the acronym. That's actually been around for so long that I'm getting used to saying it vCloud Director. So VMware Cloud Director is the topic of today's conversation. We're going to talk about how this core product can offer you so many benefits that you can offer different services to your customers, from offering multi-tenancy to offering migration as a service, or offering different visibility to the platforms. It gives you so many benefits that it would enable you to scale up your business very quickly. So generally, this is the platform that we are discussing. VMware Cloud Provider Program has different offerings under it, but today we're going to talk about vCloud Director. As you can see on this slide, we have the cloud endpoints, we have platform, and we have the solutions at the top. These solutions can be utilized using vCloud Director. Generally speaking, there are two different things, vCloud Director and vCloud Director Services. Just to cover up the vCloud Director Services or VMware Cloud Director Services, these are the services on extension for cloud on VMware Cloud on AWS. So what it means is that it actually helps you offer different pools of resources that you can utilize under AWS. So with that being said, let's talk about the vCloud Director product itself. vCloud Director basically provides a software-defined services as a VDC or virtual data center. We can step right into different options that are offered, but generally speaking, what it means is it gives you access to a set of pools from compute, storage, and networking, from ESX to vSAN and NSX, and then they scale out as the business grows. With VDC on top, it gives you an offering that you can expand to the user. So, for example, if you have a tenant T1, and you want to one of the key services is, for example, what we call dedicated vCenters, or we can call it dedicated private clouds. What it does is on the T1 tenant, we can build in org VDCs or virtual data centers, and what that does is it actually helps you expose the dedicated SDDC stack and vCenters to the end user via vCloud Director. This is what we call the central point of management, or a CPOM, where vCenters are specifically exposed based on your requirement or tenant's requirement. Then we need to ask ourselves another question: what it takes to run an entire cloud provider platform. With that, VMware offers a product called VROps, or vRealize Operations. What it does is actually offers you end-to-end insights to the virtualized environment with the underlying hardware. It gives you the insights of how your network performances are, and how and when you need to take some actions. With VDC sitting on top, or VCD sitting on top of VMware Cloud Director, or sitting on top, we have a tenant app for VCD that helps you offer this vRealize operations visibility to your tenants, so they can also view their own performances. And they can manage and monitor the apps of the orgs. This vRealize Ops also comes with the vRealize chargeback, as you have seen in the previous slides. This chargeback, for example, this chargeback, vRealize Operations chargeback, this gives you an ability to drive the pricing policies, which in return you can actually expose to the tenants. We also have another subcomponent within it, which is called the log aggregation, or VMware Log Insight, that gives you logs for the performances of overall network. Now, from there, we can talk about what are the integration options we have for the current processes, and that's where another product comes in handy, which is called vRealize Orchestration. And this is a great product because it actually offers you it is what we call X as a service, because it helps you build workflows for different options. For example, third-party apps, you want to add up containers, you want to define those workflows, and then you can automate that process. So this is an automation orchestration. You can also expose these workflows or these automation procedures to your tenants through VCD. So as you can see, VCD sits at the core of a lot of different offerings that are shown. From there, we have another great offering under vCloud Director, which is called the containers. So containers have gone really huge, and they have evolved huge in terms of their adoption. So VCD comes with an extension called Container Services Extension. With 2.0, you got a PKS extension as well, so you can leverage that to your tenants as well using vCloud Director. Another great product that you can use is called VMware Cloud Availability. This is another thing that actually works pretty well with the vCloud Director. And if you want to offer migration as a service or disaster recovery as a service, so for example, you got another data center where you have some workloads and you want to move them into the cloud, or vice versa, from cloud to an on-prem data center, vCav can help you. And we have there are appliances that can work within vCenter that connects with the vCloud Director, and that can be achieved very easily. So from starting from monitoring as a service, to containers as a service, to disaster recovery as a service, to migration as a service, there are so many features that vCloud Director can enable, and sits right in the middle of all of those services, because it's such a core product. So this slide would cover basically the basic functions of that. So you can and all of those services, by the way, you can monetize. So disaster recovery as a service, migration as a service, Kubernetes or containers as a service, monitoring as a service, as I mentioned on the VROps portion. So what we're doing today is just giving you an overview about the vCloud Director. In coming sessions, which will be happening after 2 weeks, or we'll share the schedule, that would cover all of those separate features separately. More specifically, for example, we'll discuss disaster recovery as a service. We'll discuss migration as a service. We'll discuss VROps in detail. We'll discuss vCav in detail. So that different options will be discussed in a larger series of offering under vCloud Director. In a nutshell, as I mentioned before, the vCloud Director services are slightly different than what we have on the vCloud Director as a main core product. So director services are the services that offer you to partition and organize the VMware Cloud on AWS resources into its pool, makes them available to your tenants in a multi-tenant environment. And this is a perfect solution where what we are looking for is to provide self-sufficient cloud services to the end user. So self-sufficiency is the name of the game here using Cloud Director because it actually offers you more automation. It offers you a central point where you can connect many other apps to build up your portfolio, from disaster recovery as a service to other offerings. Like you see on this slide, for example, we have VMware Cloud on AWS, we have Azure VMware Solutions, Google Cloud coming in. So there are a lot of things you can do with these services, and all these services which I'm talking about now, so there are two different things: vCloud Director as a product itself, which sits in the middle of everything, as I mentioned in the previous slides, and then we have Cloud Director Services. Cloud Director Services also utilizes Cloud Director, but also in a SaaS-based situation where what it does is it actually helps you partition and organize VMware clouds on AWS resources to its pools in a multi-tenant environment. And it helps you give that self-sufficiency to the cloud service. In the near future, they're extending into a huge dimension where they will be offering these things in a hybrid environment as well. And one last thing before I go, these cloud services, these Cloud Director services, are offered through VMware Cloud Provider Hub, which is mentioned here on this slide. If you can see this yellow part, Cloud Provider Hub, is the key. So there's a difference between the vCloud Director here in blue and in this orange. You see Cloud Provider Hub. That these are Cloud Director services that are offered, and these are offered through Cloud Provider Hub. It's an online. By the way, so one thing I forgot to mention is when I say that with vCloud Director, you can build up a multi-tenant environment and you can offer different pools of different resources to your customers. All of them are actually accessed through an HTML-based web portal. So there's no need to add up any additional installations to your network to make that availability visible to people. It's going to be HTML5 based, web-based tenant app that tenants will be able to see all those resources. So just to sum it up, what this vCloud Director as a product itself offers is, it offers you the virtual data centers and elastic pools of cloud on demand. It does give you a fluid hybrid cloud fabric where you can communicate easily between the on-prem and the cloud services and solutions. It's a self-service. As I mentioned, it's a self-sufficiency is the name of the game here. So there's no need to raise tickets by the end users to asking for different pools of services. They can simply see those things on the portal itself using this great product. So where does Ingram Micro comes into this mix? We are the aggregator, and we are the only aggregator in Australia that offers a full stack of VMware products, from the perpetual licensing to the cloud-based services, or VCPP. We are the aggregator, and then we have the service delivery offering the subscription services where Workspace ONE comes in. So to join in, what you need to do is select the route you want to choose. And what I mean by that is, on this slide, if you go back, I mentioned there are two routes to join the market under VCPP. One is called the rental model, and the other one is called the MSP model. You got to make a choice which one you want to go for. And once you make that choice, what you need to do is to get to that slide. Yeah, select a point level. So as I mentioned, the VCPP program rental side of the business works on points-based consumption, and that's actually a huge concept in its own self, and we can discuss separately when you have any questions around it, and I can cover those questions. By the way, you're welcome to ask the questions. So first thing, select the route to the market. If you're choosing the rental model, then select the point level you want to go for, and I'll discuss the points in a minute, and then sign up the agreement. There's a document that you have to sign. That will be an agreement between Ingram Micro and you as a service provider, and that would define the terms of engagement. And then we'll set up your contract on a VMware Commerce portal, which enables you to see the usage and report the usage. What you do at the end of each month, between 1st and 5th of every month, is you go online into that portal, you use your usage meter to collect all that data within the system and then report it back into this portal, and that's how the billing works. So once we have the numbers of units being consumed by you, we'll be able to invoice you accordingly, but it will be based on your usage. So that's the flexibility that is offered. As I mentioned before, Ingram Micro is the only distributor in Australia that manages full spectrum of VMware technology. We have dedicated people who are dealing with this business. So I'm the dedicated product manager for VCPP. We have a dedicated BDM, Michael Amuso. We have a dedicated technical person, Engage, who's a solution architect. So our team stays in touch with you, making sure that you fulfill your desire or journey that you have chosen for yourself, and will enable you in this process. You can reach out to us. Here's my number and the point of contact. You can reach out to Michael Amusa. He's the BDM for VCPP. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us through the email, or if you are listening right now and you have joined in, you can ask the questions right away, and I can stay on this call for a little longer to answer all those questions. With that, thank you very much. I'll stay here for a few more minutes for any questions that you guys may have. Okay, we haven't got any questions, but you can reach out to us through our email addresses, as I mentioned on my last slide. I'll share the recording of this session and also the slide deck with you guys, whoever has attended, and we can discuss this further. If you have any questions about the Cloud Provider Program in general and what are the Ingram Micro offerings, you're welcome to ask the questions. Thank you very much. See you next time.